Hey, welcome back to another project. My daughter asked me for something between a bowl and a plate for stir fries, salads, and such. And so I got this chunk of walnut. See what we can do with it. Sorry for bumping the camera there. Should be 10 inches to start. Okay, got it mounted on the woodworm screw. I'm gonna start truing up the outside surface and forming the shape of the bottom of the board. Got my 5/8 swept-back hole gouge, mask and face shield on. We'll be turning about 680 RPMs to start. I moved the tailstock out of the way so I can start establishing the bottom. I marked out for a 2 1/8 inch recess and a 4-inch base, and then I'll start forming the bottom around that. Okay, it's about 3/16 inch deep, just short of a 1/4 inch deep. Dovetail. I'm going to get this cleaned up just a bit more, and then we'll be able to continue working on the outside shape of the bowl. Alright, the bottom is established with a 1/4 inch recess and a base that I'll mess with later. But now it's time to get back to the outside shape of the bowl. Start forming the curves. wasn't too much work to do on the outside because I'm leaving most of the material. I got some tool marks to clean up, a little tear out, but this is the general shape. Can't decide if I want to wing it out here at the end or just leave it straight. But the outside's just about done. I'll bring it back as I finish that up and flip this thing around on the inside. I kind of switched to a very slight OG shape on this bowl, so I'm going to start cleaning up the outside of it. Well, there's nothing more important than the outside of the bowl. I kept messing with it, and I think I finally got it where I want. Anyhow, before I turn it around, I've got to sand it 80 to 800, sanding in reverse about 400 RPM. I know this part's boring, so I'll bring it back when it's all finished. Okay, sanded up through 800 grit. I'm not sure if you can pick this up, but there's some chatoyance in the wood. It's nice and shiny, beautiful. Very happy with that. Anyhow, get it turned around in the recess tomorrow. I do have the center marked for later, but we'll start turning out the inside, and then once the inside's done, I'll sand that, flip it around against a jam chuck, and clean up this bottom. So I'm not worried too much about the base. This bottom's going to change, but the outside of the bowl with the slightest of OG curve to it is done and sanded, and it looks beautiful. Very happy with the way that it's picking up the light. Nice piece of walnut. Anyhow, we'll come back when it's turned around tomorrow. All right, welcome back. Got it flipped around. 1/2 inch bowl gouge, turning at about 650 RPM. We'll keep the tailstock up for as long as I can. My son was over lifting weights, watching some baseball on TV, so I stopped filming for a while. We'll get back to it here as I finish digging out the center. Going to try to keep this 1/4 of an inch thick all the way through. I'm getting closer, but I tell you, this is difficult. I need a better toolbar for the inside of these bowls, especially on the curve, the transition from the side to the bottom. Wow, is that a long reach. Need one of those toolbars that'll bend around the corner. Anyway, hopefully I measured right and I won't be going through the bottom here, but just cleaning up, and then I'll use a scraper. Hopefully you can get semi-close to the sides and clean up any tool marks. Not too bad. Not too bad. I made it work. Still got to clean this up. A quarter inch thick throughout. So far, so good. It was difficult. There's some tool marks are in there. It's going to take a lot of sanding. I just wasn't able to get close enough with this tool rest. The sides are good. The bottom's pretty good and pretty level. This corner was bare though, man, treacherous. It's I measured it. It's 1/4 inch throughout. You know what? I'll do a little bit more right here, but man, that was tough. I'll come back and sand it tomorrow. But yeah, it wasn't worth tear out, so I just did little section by little section with my round nose scraper, just to clean this up. I'll do a little bit more right here, but like I said, it wasn't worth any tear out, so I just did section as I could, just to try to blend it as best as possible. But I'll just do a lot of sanding, and that'll get it where I want it. We'll come back with that tomorrow. I still have my mask on, but hopefully the camera picks up that chitone from the inside as well. It's all pretty good. Well, my daughter calls this a blate, half bowl, half plate. Sanded pretty good, up to 800 grit. 9 3/4 inch wide, 2.5 inches deep to the base, 2 1/4 inch deep down to the bottom. Just trying to figure out what I do with the bottom now. My plan was to put it against a jam chuck, turn this, make this base about half this size, and sand the bottom, make it really nice. I'm just not sure I want to put this up against the jam chuck and put so much pressure on this point. So I'm going to think about this a little bit, figure out what I want to do. I may just sand it up and epoxy something in here in the void, because I don't want to leave a hole there. That wouldn't look right. Anyway, I'm going to think about this some more, figure it out, and I'll come back with that. But other than that, this blate, this little salad bowl, stir-fry bowl for my daughters, just about ready to get a finish. Well, I'm back the next day, and I'm praying I don't screw this up. Got my jam chuck in there. I got a towel to keep it soft, non-slip towel, a piece of yoga mat, all the cushioning on this side. And because I don't have a live center that doesn't have a point, I made this little block, covered it with more foam from that yoga mat, drilled a tiny bit of a little hole in there so it wouldn't split, filled it with CA glue, dried it, and I got this up there against the chuck. It's running pretty true, as you can see on my finger there. It's running about as true as I can get it, but I'm afraid to turn this off. I want to get rid of this hole and make it look like there's no sign that it would ever within the recess was in jaws, right? But man, I heard a little bit of a crack as I tighten this up enough to turn, so it's got me worried right now, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. Tough to get in here with this tailstock. Just need to bring it a little bit more. Ooh, just a little bit of a lip. Okay, I'll blend that off camera. This is gonna work. Well, I almost blew it. I mean, you can't tell it was held in the jaws anymore, so that part's good, but I got about 1/8 of an inch, if not a fraction less in thickness. So I'm gonna support it and try to even this out a little bit with the lower grits and then move to the higher grits with my drill and just fix this bottom. Yeah, I'll get this fixed up and bring it back when it's done, sign it and put a finish on it. But that was, I gotta say, that was close. I almost lost this bowl by taking this a little too far. All right. It is thin, but not too bad. Just wanted to show you, finish the bottom. So take this mat out of here. It's ready to sign and finish. I got lucky. I got to find a better way. Turning out a tenon is no problem, but I got to find a better way to turn out a recess. But in the end, it worked. Okay, the bowl is signed and ready to receive a finish. I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to use Mahoney's walnut oil. I'll put this on right now, pretty liberally, spread it around, let it sit for an hour, touch up anywhere that's needed, and then I'll leave it for 3 days, and then put the Mahoney's wax coat of that on it as well. But just show a little bit of this and then bring it back for the finished product when it's all done. But very happy with how this bowl's turning out so far. I'll show you some of this, how it accepts a finish. This should soak in really good. This oil ends up soaking into the wood, so you can use this much more liberally than tried and true. Just a nice oil to soak into this wood. Bring out the color, you can see what it's doing. Absolutely beautiful. I don't know if the camera picks that up. And let me spread this around, get it on the bottom of the bowl, and like I said, I'll bring it back in a few days with the finished product. Welcome back for the finished product. We started with a 10 by 10 by 2 3/4 inch block of walnut, ended up with a 9 3/4 inch walnut bowl by 2.5 inches deep. I'll move the camera around to show you. Finished with Mahoney's walnut oil, so it's completely food safe. It's just walnut oil and then a mixture of beeswax and walnut oil after that. See if I can show you some of this, if it'll pick up some of the chatoyance in the grain, how the light just plays in the grain. I don't know if that worked, but man, it's a beautiful piece of wood. Very happy with how this bowl or blate turned out. Perfect for salad for 2, pasta bowl for 2, you name it. I'm trying to see if I can pick up some of that light in the grain in this shot, but it's reflecting off the light above me. Anyhow, as you can see, it came out beautiful. Anyhow, 1 walnut blade in the books. Hopefully my daughter puts it to good use. There's some of that glimmer in the grain. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you with the next project.